I did not say that.
When you're insecure.
Said that. You don't even want to hear say that.
Oh man, I love men.
Was to give Black American males.
Saying a teacher is going to get lazy when they have tenure.
Some moments in interviews stick with you, not because of the questions, but because of the rude interviewers.
And you know, we know each other. We go way back all the way to Chad Science in Newark, okay?
Corny kid, right?
Sometimes the best revenge is a success, and Michael B. Jordan reminded everyone of that during an awkward red carpet encounter. While promoting Creed 3, he was approached by L'Oreal, a journalist who happened to be a former classmate. She casually mentioned their shared past, only for Jordan to call her out on a comment she'd made about him being a corny kid.
I did not say that. Misquoted for sure. No, you did not hear me say I said we used to make fun of the name.
The tension was undeniable. I was misquoted for sure, she tried to backtrack, but Jordan wasn't letting it slide. He didn't need to raise his voice or get overly confrontational. His calm but pointed demeanor and unwavering gaze said it all.
But yeah, he is obviously killing things out here.
This moment wasn't just about a childhood grudge, it was about reclaiming the narrative. As a young actor growing up in Newark, Jordan was mocked for bringing headshots to school and chasing his dreams.
Stay focused and stay locked in, just follow your heart, try to block out the noise and distractions as much as possible and run your race. Don't compare yourself.
But Jordan didn't end the exchange on a bitter note. When asked for advice for others facing similar challenges, he said, "Stay focused, block out the noise and distractions, run your race." It was a classy way to close the loop, showing that even though he remembered the ridicule, he wasn't letting it define him. They're individuals with principles, sharp wit, and a refusal to be boxed in. But it isn't as bad as what Nicki did during an interview.
Back to the Nicki hate train. No, I don't think you started that, but I think addressing it adds to it.
And then when I don't address it, then people keep on believing lies about me.
I'm not saying it's fair.
You sound crazy.
Nicki Minaj's appearance on the Joe Budden podcast is unforgettable, not because of the usual laughs or hip-hop banter, but because she called out Rory and the broader culture of tearing down successful women.
Do you take any accountability?
Love you guys. What?
Do you take any accountability in the forming of a Nicki hate train?
No.
The discussion began innocently enough, but things quickly turned tense when Rory and others started probing Nicki about the so-called Nicki hate train, a media narrative that she felt unfairly targeted her for years. Instead of deflecting, Nicki went straight to the heart of the issue, the double standards and lies perpetuated by industry figures she once considered friends.
When you're insecure, you tell lies. You tell lies because you don't want others to shine based on their talent sometimes. So I am going to tell the real deal. I always have the receipts to prove what I'm going to say.
Her frustration was palpable, and she didn't sugarcoat her words. When you're insecure, you tell lies, she said bluntly. She wasn't just airing grievances, she was addressing a systemic issue within the music industry where people discredit talented women to bolster their egos or careers.
Cool. It's not cool. Let me tell you something. You might laugh and say it's cool, but when it's a bunch of celebrities out here taking fucking drugs and committing suicide and killing themselves, it's not fucking cool. It's not fucking cool because you niggas think because it's not on you when the heat is not on you, of course it's cool. If you felt the heat, it would not be fucking cool.
This wasn't about snapping back for entertainment. It was a reminder that no matter how high you climb, respect is non-negotiable. For Nicki, it wasn't just about defending herself. It was about taking a stand for all women in the industry. But wait till you see what Tyson said to a reporter.
Some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
Mike Tyson has always been a polarizing figure. But if there's one thing you can count on, it's that he won't take disrespect lying down. That's exactly what happened during an interview with a Canadian reporter who crossed the line by bringing up Tyson's past conviction in a completely unrelated context.
Said that. You don't even want to hear say that. You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, because it's negative and you're being negative. And I met the mayor, right, and nothing they can do about it.
The interview started on a positive note, with Tyson discussing his meeting with Toronto's then-mayor, Rob Ford.
You come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that comment.
Come on.
That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
We're doing live TV.
And I don't care. What are you gonna do?
Tyson's reaction was immediate and unfiltered.
It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear us talking to a rap piece of shit like you. Come on, like, no, because you're a piece of shit. All right, you really didn't have to. We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in. Fuck you.
This wasn't just about a personal slight. It was about Tyson standing his ground against a narrative that often follows him around like a shadow. This moment highlighted something important. Celebrities are human too. They have every right to shut down lines of questioning that reduce their worth to their mistakes. Tyson's response wasn't just about defending himself. It was a lesson in the importance of boundaries, no matter who you are. Which brings us to Lady Gaga, going gaga on an interviewer.
Men, I love men. I celebrate American male culture, and beer and bars and muscle cars. But that's not what you asked me. You asked me if my music was distracted by my sexuality, and it's not.
Lady Gaga has never been one to bite her tongue, especially when it comes to calling out sexism. During an interview, a journalist asked whether her provocative image overshadowed her music. Gaga, however, wasn't about to let the question slide without addressing the deeper issue.
If I was a guy and I was sitting here with a cigarette in my hand, grabbing my crotch and talking about how I make music because I love fast cars and fucking girls, you'd call me a rock star.
Without missing a beat, Gaga flipped the script.
You're not worried that they'll just check out the sexual references and not care about the music? Is that something that worries you?
No, not at all. I've got 3 #1 records and I've sold almost 4 million albums worldwide.
Gaga didn't stop there. She pointed out that her success spoke for itself. 3 #1 records and millions of albums sold worldwide.
But when I do it in my music and in my videos, because I'm a female, because I make pop music, you are judgmental and you say that it is distracting.
This wasn't just a clapback. It was a broader commentary on the expectations placed on women in entertainment. Gaga was tired of being reduced to her sexuality or image when her talent was just as undeniable as her male counterparts. She used the interview as an opportunity to educate, turning what could have been a dismissive question into a teachable moment. If you thought that was crazy, wait till you check out this next one.
He just said yesterday, Madonna is making a huge mistake releasing an album on the same time as Maria.
During an interview, the reporter brought up a comment allegedly made by someone in Carrie's camp, suggesting Madonna was making a huge mistake by releasing her album around the same time as Carrie's. The insinuation was clear. A rivalry was brewing, and Madonna was supposedly on the losing end.
Why am I making a huge mistake? Why? Did he give you a reason?
Yeah, because...
No, did he give you a reason?
No, not me. It was on the press.
You could almost see the flicker of disbelief in Madonna's eyes as she heard the question. Calm but unimpressed, she shot back, asking the journalist for specifics. Why am I making a huge mistake? Did he give you a reason? She pressed.
That's the reason.
No, because maybe Maria is stronger than you.
Well, well, don't jump to conclusions.
Okay.
A man without a reason shouldn't be listened to.
When the reporter stammered and could only offer a vague explanation, maybe Mariah is stronger than you, Madonna pounced.
Pay no attention to him.
Okay. I will not jump to
the world is big enough for 2 girls with the same initials.
Yeah, that's it.
This exchange wasn't just a win for Madonna. It was a subtle critique of the culture that thrives on creating unnecessary rivalries between female artists. Poised, sharp, and unapologetic, Madonna showed once again why she's a legend. If you thought that was bad, wait till you check out what Tarantino did.
Was to give Black American males a Western hero, give them a cool folkloric hero that could actually be empowering and actually pay back blood for blood.
And that's the revenge bit. I mean, is that essential to make?
Quentin Tarantino is no stranger to controversy, especially when it comes to the unapologetic violence in his films. But during a press interview for Django Unchained, he reached his limit with a journalist who seemed intent on pushing him into a corner. But when the journalist kept circling back to whether movie violence could inspire real-world violence, Tarantino's patience began to wear thin.
Why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You
I'm
can't
just-
make me dance to your tune.
I'm
I'm not a monkey.
At first, Tarantino tried to deflect the question gracefully. "Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting," he said firmly, his irritation barely concealed. Yet the interviewer persisted, pressing him to flesh out his views. That's when Tarantino snapped, delivering one of his most memorable responses.
To sell my movie. This is a commercial for the movie. Make no mistake.
Well, you
And
got
I-
interviews.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. This
so
is,
you don't want to talk about anything serious?
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence. I haven't wanted. I've been because the reason I don't want to talk about it because I've said everything I have to say about it.
The tension in the room was undeniable, but Tarantino stood his ground. He reminded the journalist and the audience that he wasn't there to be manipulated for the sake of sensationalism.
Shutting your butt down.
And that's entirely your
This is a
your
commercial
right.
from my movie.
No, I know, but it's my job to try and explore some serious themes as well. I'm sure. you
Well,
understand.
I invite you to explore some serious things, but not things that I have already been on the record.
While some critics labeled his response as combative, others saw it as a rare moment of honesty in an industry that often expects its stars to toe the line. Love him or hate him, Tarantino remains unapologetically himself, and that's part of what makes him so fascinating to watch, both on and off the screen. Speaking of calling out interviewers, have you seen this interview with Matt Damon?
In acting, there isn't job security, right? There's an incentive to work hard and be a better actor because you want to have a job. So why isn't it like that for teachers?
Do you think job insecurity is what makes me work hard?
Well, you have an incentive to work harder, but if there's
I
job
wanna be an
security,
actor. It's not a
Matt Damon has long been known for his intelligence and eloquence, but his calm and measured demeanor doesn't mean he shies away from confrontation when it matters. This was on full display at an education rally when a reporter decided to test Damon with a loaded question about teachers.
saying a teacher is going to get lazy when they have tenure. A teacher wants to teach. I mean, why else would you take a shitty salary and really long hours and do that job unless you really love to do it?
His words highlighted the intrinsic motivation that drives educators: passion for their work and commitment to their students, not fear of losing their jobs. It was a moment that struck a chord with the crowd, many of whom were teachers who'd heard similar criticisms before.
10% of teachers are bad.
Where'd you get that number?
I don't know. 10% of people in any profession maybe should think of something else. Right?
Well, okay, but I mean, maybe you're a shitty cameraman.
But the exchange didn't stop there. The cameraman, seemingly emboldened, decided to jump in, claiming that 10% of teachers were bad. Damon wasn't having it. "Where'd you get that number?" he demanded.
So you take this MBA-style thinking, right? It's the problem with ed policy right now. There's this intrinsically paternalistic view of problems that are much more.
This wasn't just a moment of snappy comebacks. It was Damon using his platform to challenge a broader narrative that undervalues and disrespects teachers. By dismantling the reporter's argument, he called attention to the real issues educators face: long hours, low pay, and a lack of support, not a lack of motivation. And Damon, with his quick wit and sharp intellect, was the perfect person to say it. Which brings us to this next one.
It's not crazy. You know, I mean, it's my passion, all of these things. You know, I've wanted to do this since I was young, so it's not too hard.
Not too hard?
Cara Delevingne's infamous interview for Paper Towns is a classic example of what happens when an interviewer underestimates their guest. What was supposed to be a lighthearted promotional appearance quickly spiraled into awkward territory, with Cara caught off guard by the condescending tone of the questions.
You get a chance to read it, or do you even have time to sit and read? These days you're so busy.
No, I never read the book or the script, actually. I kind of winged it.
Yeah.
No, of course, I love the book. I
Nice
think
try.
the book's amazing.
The interviewer started by asking if she'd read the book the movie was based on, a question that seemed innocent but was phrased in a way that implied she hadn't done her homework.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
Yeah, I think it's just you.
I think it probably is us.
Yeah.
Well, then on that note,
We figured as much. We figured as much.
we'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about that?
Things took a turn when another host accused her of seeming less enthusiastic than she had in previous interviews. Cara, visibly irritated, defended herself, explaining that she was just tired after the premiere the night before.
It's a good movie. That's so funny. Let's tune in and see what you... Oh, they went to bars.
Wow. She was in a mood.
She, man, when...
Jeez Louise, everything
I thought she was being sarcastic on purpose. I thought she was trying to be funny, but
I
then
think
she wasn't.
she, I don't know. I think she was just a little irritated.
By the end of the interview, it was obvious Kara couldn't take it anymore. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this one.